It is our Friday this morning. It is a fire Friday. It is a fire Friday. It is a fire Friday. So this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest that's going to be in the building, our resident Fire Friday guest this morning. And I just want to say to you all that sometimes, there are topics and there are issues and there are problems that we like to tackle. And sometimes it just takes a certain person to tackle, to talk, and to be about those actual items. So this morning, ladies and gentlemen, my Fire Friday guest is the original Fire Friday guest that's going to be in the building here shortly, Mr. N.L. Haddock. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be in the building. And today's topic is we're going to talk about Dwayne Wade, or D Wade, if you want to call him that. Dwayne Wade and Zaya, right? And the reason that we're going to talk about it today, because it seems that this actual topic has been just really on everybody's mind, really having everybody talk about it. Everybody has everything they want to say about it. People feel a certain way about it. So this morning, what we want to do is we want to talk about it this morning, right? We want to make sure that we have a voice in this, because what's happening right now is that a lot of people are telling this man how to raise his child, how to love his child. And the reality of it is that I just think that sometimes we as people, because he's in the limelight, he's a celebrity, sometimes we can go a little too far in how we feel that somebody should raise their child, right? And then it's always the this is that, or that is this, and so forth and so on. So with that being said, stay with me this morning, ladies and gentlemen, when my special guest is in the building here, Mr. N.L. Haddock. And what I want to do is we want to talk about this subject. It's important to us as a whole. It's important to our LGBTQ community. It's important to children. It's important to parents. Like, sometimes we don't really see what we're doing, what we're putting on our kids, and how we're making our kids feel. And we're pushing them to do something that we were not able to do when we were growing up, or be successful in, or something like that. And I think right now what you have is you have a division between a lot of people saying, oh, well, he shouldn't be doing this, or he shouldn't be doing that. And so that's what we're going to talk about this morning. That's what we're going to talk about. So let me back up just a little bit. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and peace and blessings to you. I am Titan Capri. That's TITANCAPRI on all social media here. I'm here with the Real Talk 100 Morning Show, and I do a segment called hashtag T2P. Now, y'all are probably asking me, well, Titan, why are you going down the gauntlet and telling people all of this and all of that? Well, the reason why I want to say that is because someone told me just yesterday that they didn't know what it is that T2P stood for, right? And T2P is just the thought to ponder. That's all it is, right? It's my way of thinking. It's what I think sometimes, or what other people think, or what I see, right? And we just discuss things. We talk about things. We see what's going on. We see what's happening. We make sure that everybody is on the same page and what we're doing. And so let me go back, because somebody asked me yesterday. They said, well, you don't normally do like hot topics and things like that, right? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I got a little bit of a scratchy throat, and so y'all forgive me. I'm sipping on some hot tea and stuff like that. So forgive me if I take a moment and take a swig and do all of that. So what happens is, so someone said, well, Titan, you don't always talk about hot topics and what's going on in the world and stuff like that. I do. But yesterday, as you all saw when I went to the DMs and to the inbox, what I was saying was I don't really harp on things that are negative, in the sense that it's going to bring harm and things like that. If I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to tell you something, it's going to be to educate and to make sure that we're, that we understand where we're at and what we're doing, right? And that's the reason why I don't necessarily do gossip. I don't necessarily do bashing and things like that. But one of my followers, family member here, actually sent in a request that I tackle the subject or talk about Dwayne Wade and Zaya. And so that's what we're going to do today on this Fire Friday. But as you already know, what we normally do is we get in and we make sure we get ourselves centered, we get ourselves ready for the topic, and we get ourselves going so that we can make sure that we are here, that we are good, and all of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, come on in. Let me know that you're in. Say hello and hi to me. Come talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking this morning. My special guest will be in the building shortly here. We actually just had to take a little quick break real fast, but he'll be in the building. He'll be, well, next to me for those of you who can see me. And we just want to talk about this subject here this morning because we think that it is very important to talk about. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, share. I'm sure there are going to be some things today that we're going to talk about that you probably might not know. We're going to talk about that's going to raise some eyebrows. We're going to talk about and just bring some knowledge to this issue, this problem, this concern that everybody seems to have over D Wade and Zaya. Okay, let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. All right, so make sure you share, make sure you let the people know, make sure you tell them all about us and what we're doing and all that good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm here every morning. Well, let me say it back up. Every weekday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And in this segment, which is hashtag T2P for the Real Talk 100 Morning Show, we talk about pretty much everything, right? But we want to make sure that we educate. If we're going to talk about it, if we're going to discuss it, we want to make sure that we open some eyes and that we let people know what's really going on. A lot of the times people don't know what's happening because they really don't just pay attention to what's going on around the world, right? So what we want to do is make sure that we constantly catch you up, let you know, and then we speak from the hip. We speak about what's real. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I did my whole spiel this morning. If you want to come in and talk to me, you want to send me a message, send me a notification, like, follow, subscribe. It's TITAN on all social media. It's you can hit me up on the inbox. You can hit me up on the messenger. You can hit me up wherever you see me at. You can always hit me up and let me know what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you're going through, right? And so I want to invite you in to raise a topic and bring a topic to light if you want me to do that. I want you to always feel secure enough to come and talk with me or any of my guests that I have on. And I ask that you actually do that. All right. All right. I think I done said enough of my spiel this morning. We're just trying to get everything together this morning. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get everything together this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all know what my next step is, right? Y'all know what my next step is. So my next step is we like for you to take a moment and acknowledge your breath, right? This morning, we want to take a moment because it's going to be a Fire Friday. It's going to be one of those things to where we talk about some heavy stuff this morning, some issues, some problems. And so every morning, what I think you should do, or what we think you should do here at the Real Talk 100 Morning Show with hashtag T2P is to take a moment and acknowledge your breath, right? And ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize because I'm kind of under the weather a little bit. I'm here and don't none of y'all start talking about no doggone coronavirus. Ain't no coronavirus, right? Some of us can have just a regular cold, which I think coronavirus is just a regular cold anyways, but amped up. But anyways, so if I pause for a moment and take a little time and do all of that, then just know that I'm telling you all, I'm just a little bit under the weather, right? just a little bit under the weather. All right. So this morning, what we want to do, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a moment and we want to acknowledge the fact that our breath is important. What we want to do is we want to acknowledge the fact that our lives are important, that what we do from a daily basis is important. We wake up every morning and we don't acknowledge the fact that we are breathing. And what I want you to do on a regular basis, hopefully a daily basis, is to acknowledge the fact that you are breathing, that you are living. Okay? What we do here at the Real Talk 100 Morning Show with hashtag T2P, we take 3 breaths, right? We take 3 breaths. And on the first breath, I will count out a 5 pace, but at a slower 5 pace, right? I will count out the 5 pace, but at a slower 5 pace. And what we want to do is you want to take anything in. Yes, look, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday is gone. Today is here. Today is a new day for you to do something different. Today is a new day for you to make something better out of your life. Today is a new day for you to change whatever that was that happened back then, right? You can change it today. You can take one step towards something better. And I think, and we believe, that if you do this, acknowledge your breath on a daily basis, you can go ahead and rethink, you can recharge, you can recalibrate, you can change the things that are happening around you. And let's say, for instance, ladies and gentlemen, that you had something just happen to you, right? You had something that just I don't know, over the weekend, last week, something that changed your life forever. Because what we try to say all the time is that, oh, that doesn't matter. That didn't upset me. That didn't make me angry, but it changed your life. Once something happens to you, it changes who you are, right? It doesn't change you for the worse, but if it only changes you to alert you of what's going on or what's happening, then it's doing its job, right? But it changes you. That's what happened. It changes you. So a lot of times what we do is we don't acknowledge our breath. We don't acknowledge our breath. We don't acknowledge the fact that we are important, that we are blessed. We don't acknowledge the fact that we are here, right? And so many times what happens is that thing happens and it takes you to a place of, oh, dang. Like, what if I would have, and what if I should have, and coulda, woulda, shoulda, and buddha, all that stuff. So what we believe is that in the mornings, we like for you to take a moment and acknowledge your breath. We guarantee that it will change your trajectory. It will change your thought process. It will change how you handle things. And that's what we want to do this morning. That's what we want to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, those of you on my live feed, the man, the myth, the legend is in the building. And I'm just going to let him say what he have to say. Like, what you got to say?
Good morning. What else I'm going to say? Good morning.
Good morning.
Got me a good hat on today.
Yes, I see it. You come on with your pom-pom. Come on. Yes. It's winter.
It's winter. Oh, it's winter.
It's winter. Okay. Wait, hold on. Oh, yes. Come on with the shimmery shim shim. Baby, he got on a winter hat with a shimmery shim shim. That's what I'm talking about.
No.
He better be ready. He better be ready for a Fire Friday. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Ian L. Haddock. He is in the building. And I'm at a good time because what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that deep breath together. We're going to do those 3 breaths, and then we're going to get our groove on. And then we're going to get into the topic this morning. So we're going to do a little woo-saw before we get into the topic, because the topic is going to be just a little intense this morning, right? Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that you all are ready, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take that first breath. Remember, we're taking 3 breaths. The first breath that we're going to take, I'm going to count to 5 at a slow pace, and then I want you to pace yourself with that 5 count. And then we'll take the second breath, and then when we take the third breath, I want you to let go and make some noise with it. But again, Ian and I are not responsible if you're at work, if you're in the library, and all of a sudden they kick you out or give you a box and tell you that you no longer work there. Not my problem, sir. Not my problem, ma'am. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so if you're ready, I think I heard you say that you are ready. What we're going to do, we're going to take that first breath. I'm going to count it out at a 5 pace. And ladies and gentlemen, the object of this is to get that peace, right? The object of this is to get through the 5 pace if you can. If you cannot, right? If you cannot get through the 5 pace, don't worry about it. But you shouldn't be choking. You shouldn't be spitting up. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You ready? Let's go. So I'm going to count it down. When I count to 3, I want you to take that deep breath. and we're gonna hold it for that 5 count. And you should feel a little tingly, a little feeling, you know, going on. You shouldn't be having heart attacks. You shouldn't be catching it and talking about, oh, Elizabeth, this is the big one. Some of y'all might not know what that is, but you know, Google it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and blow it out.
How the hell are they supposed to hold that for 20 seconds?
Look. Come on. Look. He talking about how they supposed to hold it like that.
Supposed to hold it for 20 seconds.
Your goal is the 5 count. What did I say before I begin? Before we started, your goal is the 5 count.
I was struggling at 1.
Your goal is the 5 count. But hold it for as long as you can hold it, okay? Hold it for as long as you can hold it, all right? We're going again. This is the second one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not counting this time, but you want to hold it for as long. If you feel the burning sensation, the warmness, right? And if you can't hold it that long, then go ahead and let it go, right? Don't let it go. Because if you're like Ian over here and you only got to 1, then, hey,
I was struggling.
I'm happy that you got to 1, okay? 5 is the goal. 5 is the goal. Because literally it's about 20 seconds. He's about right. It's about 20 seconds. All right, y'all ready? I'm going to count to 3. We're going to take that deep breath in, and then we're going to be good to go, all right? 1, 2, 3. Let it go, ladies and gentlemen. Let it go. That's the part right there. You want to take it in. You should feel a little warm and fuzzy. You should feel a little warm, right? You might want to turn on the little air conditioner or a fan or something. That's what it happens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for this 3rd count. And on this 3rd count, remember what I said. I want you to make some noise with it, right? Make some noise with it. But again, if you're at the library or you're at work, I'm not responsible for what happens if you start yelling and everybody starts looking and security comes and all that good stuff. I'm not responsible. Neither is he, right? Neither is he. All right, y'all ready? For the 3rd breath, we're going to take the 3rd one in. 1, 2, 3. I knew he was doing so crazy. I was like, I'm not going to open my eyes. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to
get through it. How am I going to get through it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that if you do that on a regular basis, we believe that you are actually rethinking, recharging, reevaluating what's going on in your life, and then you can make an actual difference on that, okay? You can make a difference on that. So what we want to do, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure that you on a daily basis, and sometimes maybe 2-3 times a day if you have to. If you have one of those lives, I'm not tripping. Take that breath, acknowledge your breath, and make sure that you are good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you all know what comes next. After we take a breath and we center ourselves, you know we like to groove. You know we are made of vibrations and frequencies, and this is what we like to do. So with that being said, oh, this scratchy throat of mine. With that being said,
I can't groove.
I got Ian in here. What?
I can't groove. I need some coffee.
What you mean you can't groove? You gonna go?
I'm gonna listen to you groove.
See, you know what?
He always trying to make me groove, y'all.
See, I'm always trying to get, cause he grooves. But I bet if I put on some it still works. The blood. Okay. I bet he'd be in it on that too as well.
Thank you, Lord.
Matter of fact, I think we're gonna do a little. I think we're gonna do a little church number this morning. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I think that's what we're gonna do. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in this morning. You gotta turn it on first.
Oh.
Hit the little button. Okay, now put it down, and then hit the size cup.
Oh yeah, I got that.
All right. Look. Now he done told me to shut up. He done told me to shut it up.
You supposed to be grooving.
Shut it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I just thought about it. Let me say this before we get to going all the way through. Ladies and gentlemen, Heart and Soul, the revival is back tonight. It is back tonight at 7 o'clock at the Match Theater, right? Downtown. Yes, we're going to give a shout out to Kevin for doing what he do. We're talking about the revival of Heart and Soul. If any of you are in the Houston area, had been in the Houston area for the last 10 to 15 years, it's been about 10 years?
It's been a long time.
It's been longer than that. It's been longer than that, right? It's been longer than that. Kevin has always been giving us entertainment, always giving us art, always giving us soul. And so, what we like to call it he, art, and soul. But it's Heart and Soul, because, you know, I'm a he, and I like to call it a he. So tonight, the revival is tonight. And the reason why I'm saying all of this, ladies and gentlemen, tonight will be my first time on the main stage doing my piece. I have a little something to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go. I'll put the info down into the comments. For those of you who are on the radio, the interweb, ladies and gentlemen, please go to my page. It's on my page. Click the link. Go ahead and get your tickets and make sure that you are in the building. I guarantee you that it's going to be a great night. We have some great artists. We have some good things going on. And I am telling you, yes, indeed, Tiffany. Yes, I'm going to get my cherry popped. Yes, I will be. It will be my first time doing a live piece like this in front of the Heart and Soul audience. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, indeed. So come out, come see me, come see all the other great artists, the great creatives, the great hearts, the great souls, the great spirits that are going to be on the stage. And I am honored and blessed to be able to share with them. Now, y'all see how I tried to stall for Ian to come back over here to get this groove on, but he said, that's all right, though. That's all right. That's all right. Hold on.
We're touching and agreeing on your groove.
Oh, on my groove. Okay, then.
On your groove.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. It's time for the groove. I want you to snap your fingers. I want you to tap your toes. I want you to go ahead and do what you need to do. Do a little roll, do a little this, do a little that. I want you to get into it. And if you are grooving with me, ladies and gentlemen, let me know you're grooving. Let me know you're grooving. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? They said today was Fire Friday. They said that sometimes you have to add fire. Ooh, I'm trying to. You know what? My throat ain't right. I'm not finna play with y'all. But let's get it. Sit it da 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 da. Sit it da 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 da. Sit it da 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 da. Do do do. Da doom da doom 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 T2P check me out. T2P check me out. Zoom da doom doom 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 da doom. Ian should get some. Ian should get some. Zit da doom doom doom. Sit da doom doom doom. Sit da doom doom. It's Fire Fridays. Doom. Doom 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 doom. T2P check me out. T2P check me out. T2P check me out. T2P check me out. Right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you for coming in this morning. And we are here. We are in the building this morning. It's a Friday. It's a great Friday. It's a blessed Friday. And we are doing what we need to do this morning. We are doing what we need to do. Now,
like Dirty said, if it was Simon Says, I would have probably got me a piece.
And there it is right there. There it is right there. Always, always. You know what? You show right, Dirty, because if it was Meg the Stallion, he'd have probably been pop dropping it and rolling, right? I wouldn't have had to ask him to groove. It would have automatically started like this. This is how it would have started.
They ain't ready for me.
This is how it would have started. This is how it would have started.
They ain't ready for me.
That's how it would have started. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in this morning. So, our topic this morning, right, and a controversial one it is D. Wade and Zaya, right? And so, here's what's happening with D. Wade and Zaya. You all have probably seen it in the media. So, first, his son, let me say this, right? I'm going back to the beginning, right? First, his son wanted to wear, and the reason I'm saying this like this, so don't get upset with me, don't come at me. I'm trying to go back so people that don't know the history. So first, it was a blouse or fingernail polish that his son was wearing, and how his son identified, right? Dwayne Wade stood behind his son, said he loved his son. No matter what his son is going to do, he wants to be there to love his son, to promote, right? Now, Zion has want to be called Zaya, right? Identifies as female as Zaya, right? And so Dwayne Wade said, I'm going to stand behind my daughter, right? Because that's how the child wants to be identified. My daughter, and I'm going to help, I'm going to be there, I'm going to make sure that I love her the way she is. The thing that I think everybody is in an uproar over, or has been, is that Lil Boosie went in on him doing this, saying that Zaya is 12 years old. Zaya doesn't understand what's going on. Zaya needs to have a chance to either like girls or like boys or whoever, whatever it is. And then also something about a transgendered or a reassignment surgery. And that was never the case. If you listen to the interview, Dwayne Wade basically said that I am Zaya, right? I'm going to call her she, her, hers, I think were the pronouns. And that's who my daughter is. She, Zaya, right? And so now this morning, we had a lot of people. We had a lot of people chiming in, giving kudos to Dwayne Wade and the family for supporting Zaya and uplifting Zaya and letting Zaya know that she's loved. But then, of course, we had so many people coming in, going for the gauntlet, talking about him, talking about he's suspect, talking about he's doing wrong, talking about he's trying to live vicariously through the child. The child should be taken out of the home. This is sick. This is bad. This is nasty. So, Ian, what do you say?
I am so tired of people worrying about other people's business. That's the first thing. So I think it's okay to say that people don't understand sex and sexuality.
Right.
They also don't understand, if they don't understand sex or sexuality, then they definitely will not understand gender identity, which are two different things.
Right.
Sexuality is indicative of what you have a natural attraction to. On the other hand, gender identity has nothing to do with sexuality.
Can you say that one more time for the people in the back?
Yeah. Gender identity has nothing to do with sexuality. For instance, one can not identify with their assigned sex at birth and still like what would be considered the opposite sex. For instance, I can be a man transitioning to be a woman and still like women. We would call that a lesbian, right? So sexuality has nothing to do with gender identity. I also think that it is pedophilic to begin to have a conversation around a 12-year-old's attraction to whoever she may be attracted to. Because I don't think that she's ever said that that or what she's attracted to.
Not that we know of, right?
And it ain't our business. She's 12 years old. It's her father's business.
Yeah.
And lastly, just to begin this conversation, because I have a lot more ranting to do. Lastly, I think it's important to understand the space, because I think when we start thinking about athletes and celebrities, we forget how human they are.
Yes.
And let us not forget that he just lost a close friend and the close friend lost a daughter
Right.
with the close friend. I'm speaking about Kobe Bryant, right?
Right.
And so now y'all are saying that he shouldn't love his daughter,
Right.
which was assigned son at birth,
Right.
when he just lost a close friend and the close friend lost the daughter.
But
At this point, you got to be real clear. Why, if there is no other moment where he's going to go hard for his child, it's going to be this, because life is short.
Right. And I was going to say, not to even mention, well, let's mention the fact that he's loving his daughter. He's loving, and so if for those of you who have a hard time with the fact of the pronouns, the he, the she, the they, or whatever have you, the child, he is loving the child, period. And I think what we always do, we always put parameters around love. We always put parameters around if you can do this and do that. I just said yesterday, you're going to sit here and tell me because I'm black, gay, and HIV positive, I can't do this. Yeah. Or because I identify as black and gay, now you accept the black, but you don't accept the gay, right? I even walk into places and then people talking about being infected. It kills me because now what I'm saying is, okay, I'm living my life. I'm loving who I am. I'm being who I am. My pronouns are this, right? This is how I identify. Could you imagine me and Ian even sitting side by side right now and Ian telling me that, oh, Titan, I love you, but oh, Titan, you can't be, no. Titan, you were born this way. This is how you should be, da-da-da-da-da. But if Ian loves me, right, then that shouldn't even be a problem. Dwayne Wade is saying, this is my seed. This is my child. This is my daughter. My daughter wants to identify like this. I'm going to love her unconditionally, regardless of what. And we can't even say coulda, woulda, shoulda. We don't know what the child is going to do later on in life. So stop putting that on that child. I'm just looking at the fact that the man loves his daughter, his child. Like, the freak.
And I also want to say, I've been seeing a lot of people say, it's just, that the child is 12 years old. At 12 years old, a child doesn't understand sexuality. At 12 years old, they shouldn't be allowing their child to make those kind of decisions. This is my argument. 3 things. Number one, I'm sure you was getting freaky or playing house at 12. That's number one.
Okay. Back in the day, high and go get it.
Right. Number two,
doctor.
Psychologists say that people know between the ages of 3 and 8, so that's a moot point.
Yes.
And then lastly, I think probably the most important piece around 12 years old, it ain't your business.
Right.
It ain't your business. Like, excuse me. Everybody's so caught up on trying to make this about them. And it's because they probably, most of us, especially as people of color, we come from families in which we were mistreated to think that we couldn't think for ourselves. Don't think for yourself. You making grown-up decisions. Stay in a child's place. All that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we're used to having a parental construct in which the parent gets to decide every decision for the child, and then we get upset once the child gets above 18 and the child can't make decisions for themselves.
Right.
I think this is really, really powerful, the fact that they're allowing Zaya to begin to make decisions for herself, and they're able to, as I wrote in an article on Real Urban News, they're able to protect Zaya. Because the issue is the life expectancy of trans folk is like younger than 35.
Come on.
They die younger than 35.
Come on.
And if y'all are saying that they need to wait until, not that the community is any less open to them after 18, because we don't want to give them no protections after 18 too, so I don't understand that argument. Wait a little later so they can come out and not be supported or protected. Right. But the point is, Zaya has lived half of her life based upon the life expectancy of trans folk. Right now at 12. Not half, a third of her life, because the expectancy is like 33, 34 for a trans person, a black trans person. So the issue is like, this is life-saving.
Right.
What
right.
Dwayne and Gabby is doing, this is life-saving work to unconditionally love your child. And I really feel like it's a lot of the conversation around like how people that are aging with HIV feel towards PrEP. It's not really that y'all don't get with the fact that Dwayne is doing this for his child. It's like the issue is you didn't have it.
Right.
You didn't have it, so you upset.
Right.
You didn't have unconditional love by your parents, so you upset. You didn't have an open door policy with your parent, so you upset.
Right.
Don't be mad at them for parenting like they should.
See, here's my thing. So, I remember, and this is more on a personal side, but it identifies with what Zaya is going through now, or what Dwayne Wade is going through now as a father, right? You want to be loved. You want your father. You want your mother in the house. You want to have that house. You want to do all this kind of stuff, right? But you don't have that, right? And then so what people get upset about the LGBT community is that when you don't have this, when your own seed, you ostracize them, you kick them out, you vilify them, you do all of these things to them, and then they go out into the community, and the community embraces them. We have houses all throughout the community, and you embrace them, and then you look at these trans people, and this is why I think it is so important, because I have met so many people in my life that their own family would not accept them for who they are. And for Dwayne Wade to sit here, him and Gabby, to say to Zaya, I'm going to be here for you, I'm going to be there. Do you know how many people that are still living, but that have died, that have been hurt, that have been raped, that have been beaten, and all this stuff, right? Because of the fact that their own parents were not accepting of who they were. And like Ian said, they were saying, stay in a child's place. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. But we already know, children know at an early age. Children already know at an early age.
So I haven't even told this to Titan because we didn't get to talk. So this sounds like it's about to be a rant about me being program marshal, but it's totally something bigger, even for me.
Right.
So y'all, as y'all know, I'm one of the nominees for program marshal. And so I've been doing this social media campaign, and people have been like reposting this flyer. And so I get an inbox from someone I know of as my sister, but I don't know my father.
Right.
Going back to this, I don't know who my father is.
Right.
I've never really met him as like with any recollection of
right.
If I saw my dad, I would not know how he looked.
Right.
So, but I know this. Hey, I won't say your name because you may be watching, and we ain't there yet.
Right.
But she inboxed me and she was like, "Brother, I'm about to post it. Does this work?" And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I'm just thankful that my sister, we went to school together and stuff, but I don't know her. I'm just thankful that my sister would want to post something about me being gay. Being in a big gay position. So she posted it, and I was just going through the comments, thanking everybody. And then I get an inbox. Hopefully I don't get emotional, y'all. So then I get an inbox from one of the people that were commenting, and it was a message request. I go open the message request, and it was like, let me see if I can find it.
Ooh, y'all, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. Like, what is it?
I don't know where I can find it. Okay. It said, "Hi, Ian. This is blank and blank's mom. I want you to know when my dad and I was married, I tried to get him to get you and your other brother and bring y'all over. I tried to talk to your mom, but she was very mad with me. I didn't know that your dad was seeing her too. I always wanted to reach out to you. I know you don't know me, but your aunt used to keep me updated about you. You will always be my son. I don't believe in stepchildren. I'm very proud of you." So anyway, it's so beautiful because I've never had any connection to my dad or my dad's children, or I never knew anything about that. And so, anyway, it just really goes back to the thought like, you don't know what you want, you don't know what you desire, but I know that even at 32 years old, getting that message last night had me in emotional shambles. Because you don't know what you want until you get it.
And y'all, I'm sorry. I know Ian, and I know Ian's journey and and so that's why I'm so touched. Like that is awesome. What you want your family. You're still the same person, right?
Yeah.
You're still the same spirit. You're still the same essence, and you don't know what happened back then. Y'all don't know why Dwayne Wade is going so hard in the paint for his child, because maybe something in his childhood wasn't right. Who's to say? I'm not even going to guess on that. But what I'm saying is, you want people to be there. You want people to love you. And then you wonder why the LGBT community goes so hard about theirs, is because we have been ostracized. We have been. This young lady just sit here and said, even though she's mother, young lady said, I've always wanted to be around you. I've always wanted to know you. I don't believe that you're a stepchild. You're my child. Yeah. But because of the circumstances of the situation, I couldn't. And so it gets me right now that Dwayne Wade would even sit, right, and say that I'm going to stand by. Could you imagine what that's doing for Zaya right now? Yeah. Could you imagine if we would have had somebody that stood behind us, not to say that we're broken and bitter, right? In that aspect, because we've been broken, but we know what it is. We've worked through it. We've healed from our trauma. But sometimes when you don't know, you don't know. And for this to happen at him going for Pride Grand Marshal, right? And then somebody to see it, and then somebody to send it to somebody, and somebody say, "Oh, wait a minute, hold on." Yeah. That's my baby. Like I remember him, like I know him, and then you don't really know what's happening. Only thing I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is this. You can listen to Lil Boosie, you can listen to all of this, you can say that the child is too young, you can say the child is too this or too that, but if I could have had somebody back then that would have taken a moment, and I said this in the documentary, and me and Ian talked about this. I didn't want you to make it right or stop doing what you were doing. I wanted you to accept who I was. Just say to me, Titan, it's okay. Yeah. Titan, it's going to be all right. Titan, I got your back, right? But instead, you told me to stop doing what I was doing. This is not of God. You're going to hell. You'll never get into heaven doing this. And I myself, and this is why it's so personal to me right now, I myself was 12 years old when those deacons and that pastor pulled me into the office and told me that I was everything but the child of God. You don't know the damage that you're doing to a child. And at the point, I could say, where were my parents? I could say what was going on. I could blame a whole lot of things on a whole lot of things. But right now, in this moment, like Ian just said, how awesome is it that this man is standing behind her and saying to her, right, how she identifies, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to let you grow. I'm going to let you do. I'm not going to put any parameters. I'm not going to put you in a box. I'm not going to put you in a jail. I'm going to let you be you. If somebody could have just told me back then, Titan, you're going to be okay. Titan, this is what's going on. Titan, well, this is what that is. I didn't know what the hell right from left was, in a sense, at 12 years old, but I knew that what they were telling me was not right. Mm-hmm. I knew that, and I knew I was different. Mm-hmm. Why? Number one, I felt different when I was in a crowd. Number two, everybody that was straight, heterosexual, felt the need to tell me that I was different, right? And I knew, and I say this all the time, I'm going to say this and I'm going to let Ian get back on, but I said this to some people a couple of years ago, some important people in my life. I told them that I knew at the age of 5. Yeah. And they talked about me like I was a dog. They talked about under my clothes. They talked about I played the game, that I took them down the gauntlet, that I did this and I did all of this stuff like that. And I was like, you don't understand. I knew I was different, but I was trying to keep up with society. I was trying to keep up with the community that I was trying to be a man. That's what you told me to do, is be a man. And being a man was basically getting out there and sowing your wild oats and getting as many girls as you can and getting them pregnant and, you know, and not being there. That was what being a man was. That's what being a man was. But I wasn't doing that. I was too prim. I was too proper. I wanted to be clean all the time, right? And of course, you know, I could do a good old show tune in a minute. But you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just thinking about.
It's hot.
I'm just thinking about the opposite of that, you know, because for me, going back to this story of not knowing my dad, not having a bit of an emotionally abusive relationship with, and verbally abusive relationship with my mother.
Right.
I just think about like feeling different, really young, feeling like there was something, like even before I could name it.
Right.
I knew it was something, and it was weird because I felt like everything came down to that. Like I could never be smart enough, I could never be athletic enough, I could never be cute enough, I could never be proper enough, I couldn't go to church enough, I couldn't sing good enough. Like everything came down to that difference.
Yeah.
And when I called that difference out, when I finally called that difference out, it seemed like it made complete sense. It seemed like it made complete sense because nobody wanted to be around the faggot. Nobody wanted to claim the punk. Nobody wanted to. And so it's like living through this, all of my reservations around even want to be around my brothers and sisters on my dad's side, though I haven't met him. All of my reservations come from the fact that what is it going to be like me walking in? It don't matter what they have done, right? It don't matter what they have done or haven't done as his kids. For me, as the queer identifying male, I'm a disgrace. I can't give him any grandkids. I can't give him any. And so though it could be nothing dealing with that, that's what it all feels like. And so I'm just grateful that there are the Dwayne Wades of the world that, and y'all have to watch me because I'm still trying to figure all of this out as I'm talking about it. I just feel like there are so many people that are just waiting on that sense of affirmation and acceptance from parental figures. And it's not just about sexuality. It could be about obesity. It could be about skin color. I've seen multiple issues where people feeling like their father or their mother walked away because they weren't enough. And that enough always comes down to, for me, our statement, that enough always came down to the lowest bearing fruit. And so I've always felt like I had to be gay first.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing that almost protected me. After so many people walk away from you, I was just talking to somebody on a little bit of a tangent, but feeling a little bit vulnerable. I was telling people that, like, my expectation for friends, my expectation for relationships, my expectation for people that are close to me is that you are going to turn against me, that you're going to walk away from me, and that you're going to use me and do me wrong. And so what happens is, it's been a lot of, excuse me, I got to use this one curse word. It's been a lot of shit that happened this year, but in my heart of hearts, I expected it. I expected you to say I'm difficult to communicate with, because that's what my family says. I expected you to say that you was going to get me before I got you, because that's what my family says. I expected you to turn other people against me, because that's what my own mama did. You know what I mean? So I don't think that we consider all the trauma that not having a parental figure puts on you.
So I said this morning before we started this conversation that I wasn't going to get emotional. I wasn't going to get to the point when I decided to, this is not a tangent about me, but this is how I fit into the Dwayne Wade and the Zaya conversation. I went to Ian back then, and we all know. We were talking about D Wade and Zaya, Kimmy. That's what we're talking about. And I went to Ian some years ago, and I told Ian that I could no longer keep this in. I could no longer sit here and do. And I'm older, and I'm much older than Zaya is, right? And there was a lot of things that were unsettled. There was a lot of things that my family did not know that I kept hidden, that I kept by that. It kills me because I wanted to just be me. I wanted to just love my family. I just wanted to be a part of my family, but everybody looked at me differently. And then people say now, oh no, with Titan, we didn't look at you differently. No, your actions spoke louder than your words. It was always something. Oh, here he come. Oh, well, what's going on? A lot of the guys in my family didn't even shake my hand or hug me or anything like that. A lot of the older guys in my family didn't do that because of their parent, I'm gay, right? So growing up, like Ian, I was already like, hey, I'm not even finna put nothing into me and you because I already know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? I already do it. So it's I'm sitting here saying that if I could have had, I gotta get the number, I'm sorry. If I could have had somebody like Dwayne Wade as a child, right? And this is nothing against my mother and my grandmother and things like that, because what we've known over the years is that you were dealing with your own crap and you were trying to deal in the best way that you knew how to deal with, but something was missing. The cycle had not been broken. And so what I decided to do when I decided to venture out, I think there would have been a lot of things that I could have done in my life had I had that support system, had the support system not be looking at the community or the society and saying that this boy has to do this. I had to excel in everything. I had to do much better. But here's what's crazy. This gay boy, this sissy, this mama's boy, this faggot or whatever it is that they were calling me back then, I was the one that you came to. I was the one that made it happen. I was the one that took care of you when you were not. I was the one, not those other kids, not those other family members, the ones that you applauded and you uplifted because they were heterosexual and they were out there getting people pregnant left and right and doing this and doing that. They couldn't do no wrong in your eyes because here I come loving the same sex, and then all of a sudden I'm a problem. But when the ish hit the fan and everything started stinking, who did you turn to? So at this point, what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, your child, love your child. You always want to talk about, suicide. You want to talk about being raped. You want to talk about being molested. Y'all sweep that under the rug. You kept Uncle whoever that wasn't even part of the family in the family. You kept him in the family, even though he was touching the kids. You kept him. But your son or your daughter said that I'm gay, lesbian, trans, and then all of a sudden, boom, they got to get out. They got to go. They're pedophiles. They're this, they're that. This is why I don't agree with what Lil Boosie said, and what the others are saying is how they saying that Dwayne Wade is less of a man because he's standing behind his seed, his child, his daughter. If his daughter identifies as Zaya, as she, he, her, hers, why does that freaking I'm done. I don't know.
I need a little music.
Yeah. We gotta take a break. We gotta take a break because I'm discombobulated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna take a little break real quick. I'm gonna put the number down into the live feed, into the comments, and then we're gonna also announce the number as well. Yeah, yeah. Whew. All right, Kimmy, I got you. I got you. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm gonna put the number in. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Let me get the number. Hello? Hello? Oh, we don't know that loud. I don't know what this phone is doing. I feel like Keisha done already tried to call in. Oh.
If y'all haven't voted, y'all go vote.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. We are back. Look at the shirt. Look at.
Yes. And I have a special gift for you.
Oh. Wait a minute. Where you at? Where you at? Ooh, and it's my size too. Ooh. I can't wait. What? I'm in the in crowd. I'm in the in crowd. Whoop, whoop. Go vote, baby. Go vote.
Yes.
You better do it.
You better do it.
Yes. I'm in the in crowd. NL Haddock for Pride Grand Marshal.
Yes.
What you say?
Yes.
Baby Luke. As the people would say, baby Luke. So I put the number into the live feed, ladies and gentlemen. The number is 346-255-3685. Keisha, I just saw that you called. I tried to answer, but I think it hung up on you. Give us a call back. It said Keisha on the caller ID, so I'm thinking that's you. So give us a call back. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the number is open. That's 346-255-3685. That's the number there. Ian put his information down in the live feed there. So do go ahead and check it out. Do go ahead and vote. Yes. All you have to do is click on the link and vote.
One more time, what's the number?
I'm putting it into the live feed now. I'm going to say it. Well, hold on one second. So the number is 346-255-3685. That is the number. 346-255-3685. So do go ahead and use the number there. And we will be glad to get your call to see what's going on, see what's happening here. Wait, what just happened?
Yes. And while we're getting everything together, I put the link down there.
Good morning.
And vote.
Okay. You there?
Yeah, you got to turn her up so I can hear.
All right, hold on 1 second. Stay with me, Kimberly. Stay with me. I got to turn you up a little bit so I can hear you. All right, wait. Yes, there she go. All right, you there? Kimberly? What's happening around this camp? Kimmy? Oh, yeah, she hung up on me, huh?
Oh.
Ooh, that's loud.
Woo.
Oh, that's a nice old ringtone, though, huh? You there, Kimmy? Oh, we hear you now, Kimberly. Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear us? Kim?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Kim?
Feedback from here.
Y'all know we working through a little technical difficulty. Go ahead. The people is calling.
Yes, keep on calling. Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Okay. So you guys were thinking about Zaya and Dwayne Wade right?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We finna change it up just a little bit.
The people trying to call in, and I'm trying to hear them.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Kimmy? Can you hear us? Kimmy. Kimmy doll.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, baby.
Okay. So y'all was speaking about Zaya, Dwayne Wade, Boosie, and that situation, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, it's Kimmy Doll. Just so y'all know, Kimmy Doll speaks. And my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and it's because I am not only LGBT, but I also am parallel to a lot of people that are trans, and I also advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves. There's a lot of people that are ill-informed in regards to what's actually going on with Zaya.
Right.
And I feel like they're speaking off of emotion, and they're not going to do the research to actually find out exactly what it is when this child saying that he identifies as female or a woman, or he feels like he's a woman. I'm sorry, not to be disrespectful, but
right.
A lot of people are talking about sex changes. Boosie made a comment about cutting his Peter Whacker off.
Right.
A better term.
Right.
And first of all, I'm gonna speak on Boosie. You made a post when your son turned 12 that said you were gonna go find him someone to give him oral.
Right.
That is completely inappropriate, regardless of whether you are straight, gay,
right.
purple, orange, green, blue, or yellow. That's inappropriate. And if you can say that about your son, why is it such a crime for Dwayne Wade to support his child?
Right.
I think a lot of people come from trauma, and they don't realize that they come from trauma. So because they don't realize that they're living and breathing in trauma, they have a lot of BS to say about what other people choose to do.
Right.
In regards to Dwayne Wade supporting his child, the suicide rate amongst young LGBT plus children
is
stupid high because people choose let me choose my words because people choose not to support their children.
Right.
And I can say that because I went through a traumatic situation. Nobody wanted to believe that I was gay. Nobody wanted to believe that I enjoyed another woman.
Right.
Everybody thought it was a phase, and they made me suppress that. And because of that, I have attachment issues. I have issues that I'm currently, at almost 38 years old, still dealing with, still in counseling for, still in therapy for. And I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, well, how do you know that you're gay? How does she know that she's a woman? How does she know what she identifies as? Because she lives and breathes in her own skin.
Come on.
And regardless of what it is, I'm full on supporting Dwayne Wade and Gabby and their choice to support their child, because if they would not have supported their child,
right, it's no telling.
pop culture would have ate their child alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And y'all would have been here for it. That baby would have ended up dead, suicide.
Right.
Not knowing who she is.
Mm-hmm.
But because she has the support that she needs, and she has a support system, she's living and breathing, and she's like on social media, like, why y'all just can't mind y'all business and allow me to live my life?
Right.
And I'm here for it. Because as adults, if a lot of us minded our own business, things will go a whole lot smoother. And that's just that life, period.
Right. It
I can't
almost.
speak the way I want to, but you know where I'm coming from.
No. Yeah. We know, but it's almost like it's okay for us to ostracize. It's okay for us to belittle. It's okay for us to do that to a child instead of just loving the child for who the child is. Right?
Yeah, and I think also, I don't think that we are humanizing the situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the reality is, like, this is a 12-year-old person,
right,
that is facing the backlash. You know what? I said this a couple months ago. The people that are putting out this information, that are saying these things about this 12-year-old, about this family, would not be able to handle two people going against them.
Come on.
If it was them, somebody saying something negative about them, their parenting, or their life or lifestyle, as they like to call it,
right,
they would not be able to handle it.
They would not be able to
handle
it.
And then on top of not being able to handle it, they'll be ready to fight the whole entire world.
Exactly. And then for us to be able to stand behind this 12-year-old child or kid and uplift them and let them know that there is something down the road, there is a brighter day, that you can keep on living, and you can be older like we are, and still be here and still love yourself and have your parents. That is a great thing. I don't know why people, and you just said humanize, I don't know why people demonize that, because they always demonize the fact that we're gay and that love does not play in the equation at all. So you're not going to love your child, but you're going to demonize your child for just being who your child is. I just
either you're going to force them into Christianity and y'all going to try to pray the gay away.
Yes.
Or pray that feeling away. Or y'all going to make them feel like they are less than human beings.
Exactly.
Or y'all going to force them into a space where they don't even know who the hell they are
right.
as a person. And it takes them until they are 35, 36, 37, 40, until they just fully like, I'm about to live and breathe in who I am, and I don't care what y'all think.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to live a life like that. And furthermore, the majority of the people, and yes, I'm going to say this, the majority of the people that are speaking against this either don't have their children, not raising their children, on child support, come from trauma, come from one-parent homes.
That part.
Mother was the mother and played a masculine role as the father. Like, y'all can't speak on that. Because that baby is in a household where the mother and the father are fully supportive of who she chooses to be.
That part right there, baby.
And if I could curse, because I can't curse, I can use the acronym. Y'all need to STFU.
Yes, Kimmy. Don't curse on me, Kimmy. Don't curse on me.
And you haven't faced your trauma, you don't have anything to say about what's going on in your household.
Right.
And they coin. So if that child needs counseling, if she needs therapy, if she needs to go to any doctor's appointment, anything that she needs, they're going to be there to fully support it.
Come on.
You still waiting on tax dollars to fall. Shut
up. Yes, Kimmy, yes. You better call in and drop some knowledge. You better do it.
Okay, that's all I wanted. And let me just drop this for you. If you haven't voted for my brother Ian L. Haddock for a bill, identifying Grand Marshal, please make sure you scroll up in the line, click the link, and on Wednesday night we got a special show for you because Kimmy Dog and Ian is back with the real dad.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
And y'all have a good day.
Yes, indeed. Same to you, Kimmy.
Friday.
Thank you, baby.
Bye.
Yes.
Whoever that was that called in while Kimmy was on the line, go ahead and give me a call back. I tried to catch you, but I couldn't.
And LaTanya, I would love for you to call in if you can, because you said you don't agree. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yes, indeed. We're all about hearing the thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, the number again to call in is 346 255-3685. Please call in and let us know what you're thinking. Please call in and let us know how you feel about that. We want to make sure that we cover everything and just be able to talk about it. Here on The Real Talk, we want to make sure that you understand where you're at.
So I want to read LaTonya's comment because I've been waiting on it. I'm glad you typed it, baby. Haven't been in the... Oh, hold on.
Hold on. Let's see
Hold
what
on,
we got.
hold
Let's
on,
see
hold
what
on.
we got.
Hold on.
Oh, I think this is who it is. Hold on, baby. Let's see.
All right.
LaTonya?
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I just had a comment on the situation with Dwayne Wade and how, now I do not agree with Boosie and what he said and how he did it.
Right.
But I think that particular child is too young to make a decision that will impact them for the rest of their lives. I think that child needs support, he needs love, understanding, and allow him to be free, allow him to be who he is or she is. And when that person's mind is mature, but right now it's a lot of stuff. Me growing up, I didn't make no good decisions when I was young. That's what my mama said. No, you can't do that. Or something. No, you better not do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this person needs life experiences and needs time. You know, he's just too young to make that kind of a decision.
Right. But I think, LaTonya, I think where we're getting it messed up is that Dwayne Wade never said anything about a sex change or a transitional surgery or anything.
And at 12 years old, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
That's what I was so confused about that because I was looking for like his response and that and everything and I didn't find it, but you know, based on the topic, I said, well, he might have said something about that.
Oh no, Boosie just said something about that.
Yeah.
About cutting off his dingaling or tallywhacker or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even his face basically speaking on that.
Exactly.
No, because it's important to have the support of whatever this child decides. I too agree that it's not helpful to make such a permanent decision if that was, where they were.
Right.
But that's not where they are, right? Actually, Dwayne Wade has spoken very little about what this transition means for Zaya, right? He said very little. All he said really is that she prefers the pronouns she, her, hers. He hasn't talked about hormone replacement therapy. He hasn't talked about sex reassignment surgery. He hasn't talked about therapy or what that looks like. What he has said is she wants to go by these pronouns and that they have sought counseling to work through this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to ask.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially in the African American community, so many of us are not heard. So many of us do not get the therapy that we need. And, it's generational. The trauma is generational.
Yeah.
And so until we come to the forefront and say, okay, we need therapy, well, let's talk about it, then I think we can move forward. And we won't have the high suicide rate.
Right.
A lot of the other high rates that we have in our community.
Right. But I think. Well, thank you so much. But I want to say this before we let you go. I think what happened is exactly what you just demonstrated here. People heard what Lil Boosie said, and then they ran with it, and Dwayne Wade never said anything like that. So I think that we got to educate, like you said, so that we know. But thank you for calling in. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. I love your show.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my old coworker. I used to work with her back in the day. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to work the telephone in here this morning. You know what? I'm saying what it is. We have a little technical difficulty. But for those of you who were calling while LaTonya was just on the line and while Kimmy was on the line, give us a call back.
Yeah.
Give us a call back. We like this. We love some healthy banter.
Yeah.
We like this type of thing going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us clear this up really quick, right? Because we don't want to let people think that we're promoting something like this. Dwayne Wade never said anything about his child having reassignment surgery, transitioning, hormones, anything of that nature. What he said was, I'm going to stand behind her and how she identifies.
Yeah.
She, her, hers. That's what she wants to be, Zaya, and I'm going to stand behind my child, Zaya, my daughter, and how she wants to identify. So when we start hearing things, but here's the crazy part. Do you think that little Boosie could have said something just saying, hey, you know what? I don't agree with what you're doing like this, but I do agree with you supporting your child. But little Boosie had to go off to the left and say something about cutting a member off and doing this and doing that and having surgery. Dwayne Wade never said that. But what Dwayne Wade has always stood firm on is that I'm going to support my child, my daughter. Even when it was at Zion and Zion wanted to wear, like some people were saying it was a blouse, a pink blouse or something like that, or wanted to wear rainbow colors, Dwayne Wade still said that I'm going to support my child. When Zaya changed the name to Zaya and said she wanted to be addressed as she, as a girl, Dwayne Wade said, I'm going to stand by my child. Like, we got to stop with this. Why do we always have to make it nasty and derogatory when somebody stands behind their child? But see, something that Kimmy said, which I thought was really strong, was that most of these people making these comments, they didn't have no father. They didn't have nobody standing behind them. They raised their children. They cuss their children out. They slap them upside the head and call them ninjas and everything else. But they think that's the way that you're supposed to be because you a dude. You know what I'm saying? You a dude. That's how you're supposed to act. And that is so far from the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to stop that. And stop putting on your children what you wouldn't do. Stop putting on your children the trauma that happened to you. Stop putting on your children the things that you want them to do because you didn't get to live your life the way you wanted to. Stop it.
Wait, is this really his daughter?
Who? Lil Boosie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his daughter? Mm-hmm. Now, what if we talked about your daughter?
Mm-hmm. But, good topic. Because that's why you know he going so hard in the paint. That's why you know he going so hard in the paint.
Have y'all seen this daughter? Let me put the daughter picture. The daughter looks like she's a rapper also. I'm trying to find a decent picture of the daughter.
Keisha, call back in if you can. I'm sorry.
The daughter is I don't want to misgender the daughter, and I don't want to unrightfully, because that would be against who I am. But the daughter looks the daughter presents feminine. The daughter presents masculine. Very masculine. So maybe this is about the fact that he has some unresolved issues with his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, you're on with Titan In. Who am I speaking with?
Good morning, this is Keisha. Good morning, Titan. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning.
Y'all doing all right?
Yes, we are good this morning. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I'm good. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, and I tried to call a few times, but I see you saying y'all have other people calling and you have...
Yeah. We the phone was hot this morning. All of a sudden, I'm loving this. Keep it going.
Well, usually I'm at my desk. I can't, really talk. But
Right.
I just wanted to call and say that with so many things, you have to, and I put it in the book, you have to love who you love.
Right.
Working for people, whatever. There's so many other things that could be going on with folks that could concentrate on, what a person prefers to do to me.
Right.
So, to me, it's just so petty.
Yeah.
You should be glad that person does have a voice and, then reach out and open up their mouth to say anything, because a lot of the times, like you all have often said, you hold this thing in for so many years. taking so long, worried about who's going to say what or whatever. We get somebody, whether it's somebody to support you, whether it's family, a friend or whatever, and whatever it is that you decide, and it's a healthy thing, you know. I just think that, I just think that that's a beautiful thing.
Right, exactly. I am with that, and I so agree that's something that we're missing. Like, this world is missing love. This world is missing compassion. This world, we always want to tell somebody what they should do, but we don't think about how damaging it is to the psyche, to the emotional support, spiritual support. Like, we want to whip people into shape, but what are we whipping them into, though? That's the question. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Keisha.
No, but it's a person's own image, and you have to sit back a lot of the time to take a look at yourself.
Right.
That you're lacking, or what you're not lacking, or whatever. A lot of times, oftentimes, people are so quick to point the finger and say, you should be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing this, or this is best for you, or you'll be better at that. I mean, who are you to decide that?
Right, exactly.
You understand, or whatever, who are you? I mean, there's so many things or whatever, and people bring up the Bible, me. I'm
right.
Very spiritual being as well, but there's so many other things that are missed, concentrating on like one thing.
Right.
Or whatever. I mean, like the things that are going on in some church, things that are going on. To me, it's just so many other things to, concentrate on or whatever. And your support could just really mean the overall health of a person.
True. And I think what happens is most of the time, and this is what was said, and the reason why Ian was just looking up the picture of, most of the time when you go hard in the paint like this on a subject or a topic or issue or concern, it's because you have your own trauma with that issue, that problem, that concern. Like, most of the time it's because something has happened to you. You have dealt with it. You have been down this road, and then you go hard in the paint because you figure like it's wrong. But what's wrong with you loving your child? What's wrong with you standing behind your child? There's nothing wrong with that. And like you said, there's so much stuff going on in the world today for us to pick and choose to vilify. But this is not just a pick and choose type of thing. Gay, period.
No. I'm talking about the support mechanism.
No. I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, gay, period, is not a pick and choose thing. It's always demonic, vilify. It's always you go at being gay like this. So it's sort of like when you stand next, because like with you, okay, I'm gonna use you as an example. I've been knowing Keisha for 30 plus years, right? And Keisha has stood by me. I told Keisha what's going on, and Keisha in the beginning was mad with me, and I'm just saying this because this is what it was. No, hold on. Let me say, she was mad with me because I couldn't come to her. I didn't come to her and tell her, and I had to tell her that it was not my intentions to not tell her, but because I had been through so much, I couldn't trust whoever it was, and whoever was in my life and in my world at the time. I loved them, but I chose to keep my life a secret because I didn't want to hurt that. I had too many people, ostracize me. I had too many people turn their back on me. I had too many people tell me that I was less than, that I was diseased, that I was this, I was that. So when you look back at it, people not saying something, and for her to be able to stand up with her father and be proud of who she is, even if it's just in her own home, that is huge. That's monumental. So when Keisha told me, Keisha ride harder than I do on some things. Keisha be ready to fight other people. I'll be like, Keisha, no, that's okay. No, you let me do. Y'all don't mess with my Titan. But I think that's that support system. That's what we are here for, and we need to have that for Zaya and all of our children that are out there, because there's more than just Zaya. Zaya is in the limelight, in the spotlight. The subject is about her, but there are millions of children out there, if not billions, right? Out there that are going through the same thing that she's going through right now, and she needs that foundation. He, she, them, they, theirs, whoever.
Poison Ivy, Aviana Hatch,
Come on.
Boosie Badass daughter. She need that too.
Yeah.
Boosie.
Why he playing?
Well, I know that there are a lot of whatever, because my daughter's in high school, and some of the things that she comes home telling me, like about different people my child is one of these souls that people with, I don't want to say issues, but people with, like concerns or whatever, broken people like that.
Right.
People gravitate to. And some of the things that she comes home telling me, like, that her friends show her, and I'm like, parents do that?
Yeah.
Parents say that?
Yeah.
And I've had people that ask me, what if your daughter came home and, I mean, I'm not going to not love my daughter.
Right.
I mean, stuff every day that I don't like, but I still love my daughter.
Right. Right. I think more than likely what's the kicker is whether or not my child is safe, whether or not my child understands, whether or not my child is good to go mentally. That's more important to me, and whether or not who they sleeping with, or whether or not how they identify. Because the reality of it is, and I don't know, people say all the time, Titan, well, you probably wouldn't feel like that if you hadn't been through this already. But I just believe that your child, you went through all of this, growing, like being with your child, being there for your child, and your child tells you not that they are out killing, robbing, stealing. They just tell you that this is how I identify, and you no longer love them.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That is something that, yes, indeed. But I thank you, Keisha, though. But I love my Jess, and I love the way that you love Jess, and that you gonna be there for Jess, and I love the way Jess loves me, just who I am. And I think sometimes we have to have that. Could you imagine if I wouldn't have had anybody, where I would have been today, even if I would have been here today?
Yeah.
So I think that's the point that we have to look at. We got to quit saying the child doesn't know, the child is too young, the child is too this. Children know more than you think they do.
Yeah.
Exactly, they do. And I
They-
want to say, I want to believe that I don't care how young they are. If they have a question and they're talking about it, it's a conversation that needs to go on.
And come on, you better say it.
Yeah.
You better say it for those in the back. Say it for that.
Okay.
All right,
I don't
Keisha.
believe children should be heard and not seen.
Yes.
They should be heard.
Yes, they need to be heard. Exactly. But I think that's another thing too. I think if we stop with, you don't need to be doing this, stay in a child's place, like Ian said earlier, we always do that. But what are we teaching the child? Then we send them to school. Then the child is beating up the teachers, fighting and doing all of this kind of stuff. And then the police are treating our children like criminals. But what about the home? What are you teaching them in the home? If they don't have love, if they don't have understanding, if they don't have spiritual grounding, then they're going to be lost. They're going to be lost. And you can't get mad at the other people doing that. But all right, Keisha, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. Love you. And I'm sure I will see you soon.
Okay,
All right.
back and y'all having a great show. Keep it up.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, the people is hanging me out to dry. This is some good stuff. I think I spent the whole call listening to Keisha and reading about Aviana Hatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really is what brings up the topic that I would like to go into, as we close out. This shame that people feel around other people's sexuality, right?
Mm-hmm.
My one of my aunts told another one of my aunts that, she loves me and she cares about me, but she's scared for me. And when she first said that she was scared for me, I really took it to heart. As a Black queer person, there are a lot of different intersections of fear. There are some people that still will try to hurt us. There are some disparities, health, mental, emotional, physical disparities that we have and are predispositioned for as queer people. But then when I start asking more questions about what does this fear look like, and she said that basically, what will people say about her if she affirms me?
That is.
What are people saying about my aunt who does accept me because she affirms me? And so
That part.
it's a conversation to be had around stigma. Because really, when you look at it, though Zaya is getting the crux of all of this feedback, the truth of the matter is people are attacking Dwayne
Right.
because he is an affirming person of an LGBTQ person first,
Right.
then child 2nd, then his child third.
Right, right.
This is really about the fact that how can you be a picture of masculinity, right? How can you be a picture of masculinity and still choose to affirm something in people's mind, in society's mind, so grotesque? I think that people really have to begin to tug themselves into a space of being on the right side of right. You know what I mean? Because my choice shouldn't affect you so.
Yeah.
My issue shouldn't affect you so. And the fact that Boosie, or whatever the doggone name, and I bet not hear that in no club I go to, because I'm going to walk out. I don't want to hear INDE. I think he the one that's sing whatever that song is. But I bet not hear it. The issue is the fact that Boosie feels compelled enough to dog a 12-year-old out along with his parent, Dwayne, while potentially having a lesbian daughter, is really about his internalized stigma that he has about the affirmation and acceptance of his own seed. And I think that is a tough conversation to have with yourself around the fact that this really is about your shame.
Right. That's what it is. That's what it is. I think sometimes, well, you can always say, my grandmother used to always say, what you do in the dark will eventually come to the light. So what you're ashamed of, or what you've done, or what you've done, you haven't been there for your own child.
Yeah.
You haven't been doing whatever it is that you were doing for your own child. So now you want to put your feelings and your thoughts and your process onto somebody else's child. But here's the thing, Ian just said it. You really don't have the problem with the child. You have the problem with Dwayne Wade supporting, right, standing by, being an ally, making sure that, but here's the kicker. Did you have that chance with your daughter?
Yeah.
Did you have that chance with your seed, with your child? Did somebody tell you that your daughter was going to be, and you never got the chance? And your daughter right now hates you for what you are, because to be honest, I've never heard of your daughter. I've never heard that you had a daughter. Never heard that. So that tells me one or two things. Either you were not there as a father, you didn't do what you were supposed to do, or either you fell out with her because she likes other females. I don't know. But whichever way, you wasn't in the home.
Yeah.
You wasn't there, because why is it? That's just like Denzel Washington. You hear about Denzel Washington's son all the time. You hear about Ice Cube's son all the time, because they are in the house, they group, those are their children. I've never heard of your daughter. And I'm not here to bash her at all, but what I'm saying is, Lil Boosie is out here doing this because Lil Boosie feels some kind of way. You find somebody that's out there yelling and screaming and hooping and hollering, and you're going to find the trauma or the issue or the whatever behind them. You're going to find that. That part I do know. If you're going that hard in the paint over this, and then for you to put out that he's going to snip his wiener or his tallywhacker, bruh, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then, not only that, bro, you hard for what? So what did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? What type of man are you?
And why are we? I'm just really disgusted around this idea about. I don't think that society understands how disgusting it is to talk about the genitalia of a 12-year-old.
But that's where we are. That's where we are. Just like we were talking about. I can't remember. The Michael Jackson thing. They were talking about them being kids and how this was going on, and I was saying to myself, I said, so y'all don't find that weird? Like why would you even be sitting here talking about a child's member or anus or whatever in this aspect? So right now you're sitting here, but the only way that Lil Boosie could really get you riled up. Let me talk to all of y'all real quick. Come in. The only way that he could get y'all riled up and to get y'all upset and to get y'all to spewing hate was to take it somewhere where it wasn't supposed to go. Dwayne Wade never ever said anything about a transitional surgery. Never said about reassignment surgery. Never said all these words that y'all are using. But Lil Boosie said, as soon as he said that, everybody took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, Dwayne Wade is living vicariously through his child. Dwayne Wade has been suspect. Dwayne Wade is doing this. Dwayne Wade married Gabrielle for a cover-up. Dwayne Wade is gay. Like, y'all, come on. This man is loving his child. That's the part I just...
And this
like,
the other
I'm
piece.
stopping now.
This the other piece. If all that is true, he ain't doing you. He ain't swinging with you. He ain't putting his shorts on in front of you. And for clarity, I enjoy watching. I think he's a super attractive man, but I don't know what one has to do with the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's what we do.
Because for clarity, right?
That's what we do.
For clarity, it's not that I would not affirm or accept anybody that identifies as LGBT. Mm-hmm. But I am not interested in converting a soul. This is not it's a life that I love, but it's not a life that I would choose per se.
Right.
Like, this wasn't a choice. This is something that is very natural to me, right? And so I would not push anybody into the way of wanting to be or desiring to be LGBT. I think that's a ridiculous statement that anybody could say that I'm trying to convert. Like, the days of messing with trade is over. Okay? It's over.
Yes.
The days I'm messing with trade is over. I don't have time to be coaching or coercing anybody from 12 to 93. Okay? I don't want anybody to become something that they aren't. So the thought about Dwayne Wade and his fluidity or lack of fluidity or sexuality or his personal discretions or the reason why him and Gabby is together or what they do sexually, it seems that anytime somebody begins to think of fluidity, because this is not the first conversation that this happened, it's just the most masculine conversation that's happened, right? Yes. Because we were having the same conversation about Will Smith and Jada, especially when we start talking about Jaden and Willow.
Mm-hmm. And Willow,
right? But because Will don't care. Will has played gay characters, a receptive gay character. I think it wasn't as deep as this, and they weren't talking about gender identity during that time. They were just talking about. I think I do think that Jaden identifies as non-binary.
Right, and then Willow at one point. She was saying that she was sexually fluid. She was sexually fluid. So I think that was a different conversation just because of the masculinity factor and the timing. But I think we really have to begin to. Oh, and Will was kissing Jaden on the lips. Yeah, that's what I think we secretly fetishize our celebrities and what we desire, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I just really wish we could. Understand that supporting someone in their decision is not placing their decision on me. And I think that that's an issue for people simply because the reason why they don't want Zaya to be trans or to accept her gender identity is because they wouldn't choose it. Right. And so they want everybody to choose what they want to choose. Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it has been a jam-packed segment here with a lot of conversation. But ladies and gentlemen, this is my takeaway from the conversation. And I don't even want to talk about Lil Boosie anymore because I really, I never listened to him like that. I never was a fan like that. But the reality of it is that you stop doing these things like this. We stop this clickbait. Stop this, because this is somebody's life that hangs in the balance, right? Yeah. This is my takeaway. My takeaway is love your children. Love your children. If you can sit here, and I'm going to be honest with you, if you can sit here and go visit them in jail, put money on their books after they didn't kill somebody, after they didn't beat somebody, vehicular manslaughter, and all these other things that have happened, you can go and support them and make sure that they're good and know that they can have a second chance. My thing is, what's the difference between you loving them and you loving the other person? The difference is that I am LGBTQ+. However I identify. killing, robbing, stealing. And this is what I said one time before. Killing, robbing, stealing, lying, cheating, all that is up here, right? Much higher than I am. But all of a sudden gay, right? All of a sudden I'm down on the social register, I'm low. But when it comes to murder and killing and all that stuff, I move from the bottom and move up. You don't support me like that. But you'll come down here and support your murderer. You'll come down here and support the person that didn't rape somebody. You'll come down here and do that, but you won't do that. Why do you think somebody said to me, well, no sin is greater than the other? Bruh, I'm not a sin. Not a sin. So until we get to that point, which I don't know if we're ever going to get to that point because people still believe what people believe, but love your children. Love your children. The best thing you could ever do in your life, if you have children or if you know of someone that's younger coming up, is to love them throughout what they go through, throughout what they have, throughout what's happening. Because you never know where this child is going to go. He, she, them, they, theirs, however they identify, you must love your children. That's the only thing I can say today because I'm a little emotional because I'm like, I remember just wanting to be loved and nobody wanted to love me. Not nobody. The majority of the people did not want to love me because I was gay. Yeah. I was everything. I was nasty. They didn't even want to be undressed in front of me or be around me. It was just crazy. But if I wouldn't have had a support system, would I still be here today? Would I have committed suicide? Would I have been somebody that's been out there doing some things? So ladies and gentlemen, love your children. That's all I can say to that. That's my takeaway from today. Love your children. Applaud Dwayne Wade and Gabby and Zaya's mother for loving their child. Loving their child. He, she, them, they, it, otherwise. Love your children. And that right there, to me, is the greatest gift of all. Love. You love them. You can support them. And then Zaya is going to be much better for it in her future.
Yeah. And I just wanna end by saying that you can accept things that you don't understand. You can accept things that you don't understand. I think it's important for us to understand that, like, as we're going through this life, it's a lot of things changing in society. It's a lot of things coming to light that's been around for centuries and decades, and we didn't have words for. And you may not understand something.
Right.
But you can still accept it.
Yes.
You can still move towards acceptance. And so I just want you to know that, as Titan said, love is the greatest gift.
That's it.
Love is the greatest gift, and you can accept things that you don't understand.
True.
That's it.
Whew. All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. I'll be back on Monday with the meeting in the family room here on the Real Talk 100 Morning Show. Hashtag T2P. Come and take a sip of the thought with me. For those of you all who tuned in for the first time today, I thank you all for tuning in. I am Titan Capri. That's TITAN CAPRI on all social media. I am here Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Real Talk 100 Radio with the Real Talk 100 Morning Show. Come and check me out. Come and check me out. Share. Like, follow, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And until Monday, peace and blessings to you.